Yeah, somebody beat me in here. Wow, look at y'all. Beat me into the live stream. How's everybody doing? Shout out Gandara Ruiz. Welcome. Chardonnay. Hey, you weren't third. You were fourth because Gandara and Ruiz beat me in here somehow. Yeah, somebody beat me in here. Yeah. So. Wow, look at y'all. Happy Thursday to you too. Thursday, my favorite day of the week because Thursday is my favorite day of the week because you have by the time Friday is half over, the weekend is half over. Am I right? So Thursday you have the whole weekend to look forward to. Am I right? And so the 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 whole thing of life is anticipation. Like the anticipation for things is often greater than the anticlimactic thing itself. Am I right? Go eat some craw. Go eat some mud bugs. You finna go eat some mud bugs? Some mud bugs. Yo, we'll get to chisel time. Right now we're chilling because it's hot. It is hot, but we will get to chisel time here. I might even break out the sharpening stones because I did some poor sharpening yesterday. Tuesday is the worst day of the week. Easy answer. Easy answer. Thursday, best day of the week. Tuesday, worst day of the week. What's your favorite day of the week? You vote for your favorite day of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And it cannot straddle 2 days, and it can't be when you have a holiday, blah blah blah. You have to you actually have to pick your favorite day of the week. I do have Christmas socks on today. Hump day. Yeah, Wednesday. Good choice. Good choice. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you subscribe, click the like button, click the bell for notifications, and join the family, join the community. Definitely got my Crocs on, definitely got my Christmas socks on. Yep. Definitely got all that. It's a very romanticized thing to say. I'm glad that we Daniel says the best day is the next day my feet touch the floor. I would say that's true. You know, unless I'm getting carried around in a sedan chair, I like to be on my feet. So did I, dude. I didn't even get my first pair of Crocs until Miss Heather bought me a pair like a year ago. I didn't know what all the fuss was about until now. Changed my channel name to Carpenter and Crocs if Crocs wants to pay me. Otherwise, you know how it is around here. If it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. I'm just kidding. That's not my philosophy. Or maybe it is. Or is it? Or is it? Sunday anticipation for Monday is awful too. Like anticipation for Monday on Sunday makes everyone grumpy. Everyone is grumpy on Sunday who has to go back to work on Monday. Now, my uncle used to not work Mondays. He was the nicest person on Sundays. But people are naturally like they're grumpy. They want to sleep all day because they feel like they got to get their rest in before then. Then if you don't do the same thing on the weekend that you do during the week, you feel sluggish on Monday. Like if you don't go through your same routine, and even during the pandemic, I felt different on Monday when I was not at work every day. So Monday does have a certain vibe to it. The cycle is what it is for sure. may have something to do with the way we placed significance on the weak end as basically a subjugated population of industrial workers. But, you know, I'll have to get my psychedelics guy in here to talk about that. Really? Does it matter though? I guess yes, because like I said, Monday is falls in a weird circadian rhythm to the body. It seems like, but I like Fridays off. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday is your Friday. Wednesday is your Thursday. Tuesday is your Wednesday. Tuesday no longer sucks as bad because Ruiz likes Wednesday. So if Monday is your Tuesday, Tuesday is your Wednesday, Wednesday is your Thursday, and Thursday is your Friday, you're straight. Is it? Is that in Texas or is that all across the country? I thought it was 40 hours. So after 35, you get double? That's what we do here, man. I'm glad you're thinking about life. That's what we do here. Oh yeah, okay. Makes sense. A lot of jobs in Texas too. Probably because people, I don't know why it is. Everyone moves to Texas and gets better jobs. Not me, man. It's too hot down there. My Nordic blood, I just wouldn't survive, man. I'd shrivel like a raisin in the sun. What extra time? Yeah, I understand, man. Like when your name is I need money. Like I understand that, you know, like the mentality for sure. Did I just lose a like? How somebody hit unlike? What's wrong with people? Boot these people out. We had a list. Somebody's trolling me, bringing my numbers down because they I get a like. Like there was two. I swear there was two likes on there, and somebody hit the unlike. But I can't worry about that. Just like hang on. Sorry. Well, nah, man. No one does say that. That's kind of the problem is that no one ever does say I'm good on money. Even the rich. And so now, you see what that leads to. Um, just greed that doesn't stop. Oh, nah, it's coffee. Coffee today. I got Mio in my other cup. Fake Mio. Fake meow. Fake Mio. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat too. Shout out Daniel, Gandara, Ruiz, Chardonnay, and Miss Heather. Shout out to all y'all. I'm sure there's more around. Looks like we're actually having people are popping through. So right meow. I just read that the cop that plays like he was in Malcolm in the Middle, okay? He was in Super Troopers. He was the chief. Uh, he had a patch in Malcolm in the Middle. He always played like military guys or police officers. This guy killed him. The actor killed himself. I guess he was in like extreme discomfort or something. I read about him because I read about everybody I see in the show. I got to read about him. You know how we're in the age of Wikipedia. So I saw him on Malcolm in the Middle. I'm like, man, what happened to that guy? And I read that he had a him and his wife like they were in bad. He was in bad physical shape. It was one of those deals where I think he actually failed to kill himself. Like he shot himself in the head and he didn't die. Oh, good. Glad you need all of that espresso to get through one of these lives. You know, that's what you need because I don't think we won't go on forever and ever. I might make a few cuts today. Probably drill through the middle of these things first, but do stop cuts around the edges. If I have not sawn these, which it feels like I have, I can stick my fingernail in there, so it feels like they're sawn through. But you know, we'll do some. We're gonna do a little something here. Yeah, the chief. Um, I had to find out the name. He played the commandant of the military school in Malcolm in the Middle. The commandant of the military school that what's his name? I think Francis went to in the Malcolm in the Middle. That guy. He wore a patch in that show. Stoic guy, kind of a pug, not a pug nose, but a round nose. I think he was the chief of the local cops in Super Troopers. Been a long time since I saw that movie. I know he is in Super Troopers though. I have no doubt. Yep, that's him. I wonder how he got the name Von. That's a name only historically given to aristocratic Germans. Not Van, not to be confused with Van in the Dutch culture, which just means like of, right? In German culture, Von is actually a serious title only bestowed upon the aristocracy. So if you have Von in your name and you're German, you're either faking being an aristocrat, a rich person, or you are one of those people. The Von is a very serious title. Whenever I see that, I'm like, wow, okay, this person probably came from some serious money here. That's the counts, the countesses, and the old landed aristocracy of Germany. That was their. That's how you knew. It's almost Germans love titles, man. If you're a doctor in anything and you go over there, yeah, doctor, they love it. Did I move my I don't remember moving my measuring tape. I say we probably shall cut something here in a moment. I'm working my way up to it. Working my way up to it. As opposed to making my way downtown. We'll make our way over here. Shout out Heather for that song. Making my way downtown. Something, 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 something. I'm teaching y'all. See, I'm doing music teaching again. I can't even help it. I just taught y'all the whole first line of that song. Repeat it. All right, we'll do woodwork because I'm getting a little bit on the scatterbrain side here. This helps me. It'll keep me focused. And very gently, bring the camera this way. Yeah, probably the flamboyant chief. Yep. It was the chief. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The chief of the local police. Yeah, because they got into it with the local police on that. A good stop cut there. One more time. Oh no, don't do that. It's just supposed to go wong, wong. I guess, like, if you do mine, it'll go. Yeah, no, we can't. Shout out to all the criminals that made that into a hit, though. That's pushing the line a little bit right there. Let me move it down a bit. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, where we build stuff and hang out and talk about random stuff like Super Troopers. Please subscribe, click the like button, click the bell, drop a comment so we can shout you out, because we like to shout everybody out because we're friendly here and hospitable, loving people. There you go, Ruiz. That's it right there, man. That's the spirit. But I really prefer, you know, I like you too, man, but not that much. I mean, no diddy. But, you know, I'm glad to see the sentiment. You don't have to walk 1,000 miles to find me, though, you know. We can just be friends. Why did I come over here? I had a reason for coming over here. I know I need something from over in the area. I didn't need to walk off camera either. Well, I thought I did. I'll probably remember it as soon as I go back over here. I'm getting old, issues with my short-term memory here. Oh, my square. No, I got everything I need. My pencil. No. And I miss you. No. Felipe, welcome. Hey, welcome, Felipe Rodriguez. Shout out, buddy. Appreciate you coming in and being brave enough to say something. I think I need this a little further down here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Felipe, into the chat. New family member. Oh, from the UK. Okay. All right. Welcome. I assume the UK flag means that's where you are. Yeah, we're a community here, Felipe. We're really positive and we reinforce and support each other. It's like a family. Some of us may not get all of that from our families. I used to tell the students this, man, all the time. I say, don't assume that the people next to you have parents that love them, you know, that grew up with love in their family. Not everybody does, man. I saw it a lot as a teacher. Kids whose parents couldn't care less about them. Sad. And that's, you know, adults need their parents too and their families. But that doesn't mean everybody here is that situation. Just saying, you know. Oh, that's cool, man. Good. We do that too here. All right, so I got my layout mark switched over to the other side. What I'm going to do is draw, you know, because I told you all this the other day. We want the layout on both sides here. Felipe, what we're doing is we're cutting a mortise for a through tenon here, a through mortise joint. So I don't know how much you know about woodworking. It's not the most advanced stuff, but it's definitely not necessarily beginner. Let me see if I can turn this vise a little bit so y'all can see what the layout marks I'm making. Add a little value here. Got to be careful when I do this. So it has a lot of weight on it right now. This is an awesome vise. Shout out Chardonnay. All right. I think you all might need to adjust it this way a little bit. Looks like I'm trying to see if it's on the screen. I have a delay. Appreciate the subscription, Felipe. That's a knot. So it looks like it's a little bit fuzzy, but it looks out like, yeah, I think you all can see it. I just want to make sure you can see it. I did get a bad splinter today, though, Chardonnay. One that went into my pinky finger in the tender spot. I don't usually pay much mind, but this one was bad. Y'all see that? And this is all the first waste that has to come out here. Love the pencil. It's a little bit out of camera, so let me move the camera so I can. Just a tiny, tiny bit here. That should be enough. All right, so y'all can see that hopefully here now. Right in the middle of your frame, basically. Hopefully it should be. We got the angle. This vise, thanks to Chardonnay, really makes it easy for you guys to see what's going on here. I'm using a Forstner bit. Yeah, I'm a little worried about this thing being not tight enough here. I think it can handle it. Cross the fingers. Let me move my coffee because I'm going to end up with wood chips in it. There is a lock pin I'm supposed to put through here, but I can't do it, I think, unless the vise is up. So I think it's kind of giving a little bit when I'm pushing. This is a lot of strain on one side of the vise here. And it's really on this ball joint. So I don't want to put the emphasis on the wrong part of the vise, which is this. all the way through. And that's what I need, man. I need that to go all the way through because it is a through mortise. Now there's a little bit of curvature here. I'm cutting these joints a little bit larger than the layout marks. That's gonna work for me in this scenario. Because when you try to put the through mortises through, they always are too tight. I'm not worried about it. Oh, nah, it's definitely not what you're expecting. Nah. All right, let me get my other Forstner bit. This one's red hot right now. And if I'm gonna make a recommendation with doing this, it's gonna be use a corded drill. Corded drills provide more power. And this really drains the battery of these cordless drills really bad. I'm gonna use the smaller Forstner bit just to take some material out of these two sides down here. I'm hoping I didn't blow out the other side there. Now that's most of that material out, so now it's just about chiseling away the waste. But let's flip it over. Hopefully I didn't blow anything out. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. Click that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this kind of stuff, or if you just like to chat and want to join the family, that's fine too. Glad to see so many people in here tonight. Happy Thursday night to everybody. So those did go through, but I think I need to put a couple right here. Let me tighten this up a little bit here. I'm gonna move my mic because I'm sure that was really loud for y'all. A little worried about this clamp here. Sometimes with Forstner bits you can overlap, like you see Mickey Mouse here. I've got Mickey Mouse now, but I'm not going to try to overlap because sometimes I don't have the same success. But I'm going to try to take out as much waste material as I can there. Now we did sharpening of these yesterday, but hopefully everybody can see. All right, now it's in the camera, so we're gonna go back over these cut lines here. That's the next thing we're gonna do. Let me move this. I'm gonna move the camera and move it down towards the fulcrum of the vise, so it's not stressing it so much. Still want to keep you on camera. Shout out to Felipe, new friend of the program here. Shout out to all of my other friends of the program that always come, my regulars, all the people I love, my family here. Ruiz, Gandara, Chardonnay. Wherever Robert G is out there, we got a couple other ones. The psychedelic preacher, wherever he is, he sometimes comes in to play. With wood, you add wood to wood and subtract wood from wood. That's kind of what woodwork is. I just gave you the rundown of it. Now you can leave the chat because I don't want any of you here. I don't want any of you here. No, I'm just kidding. Please click that like button, subscribe to the channel. We love you here. We want you here. You are wanted. You are loved. You are wanted. Ooh, nice. That came out real clean. Let's move this thing a little bit. I can feel it stressing. Hopefully y'all can still see that. And I miss you. Put my microphone back on. This is what I needed to happen on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, man. All right, Thursday night, we're doing every week now. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, folks. Click that like button and subscribe to my channel. I love all of y'all. I want to have a conversation and want to shout you out in my chat. So drop a comment so we can shout you out. Everybody who drops a comment, new users who act appropriately, all get shout outs. I'm gonna have to go from the other side. There's some spots I feel like are gonna blow out if I don't. How about them Minnesota Timberwolves? Beat them LA Lakers. Very proud of my Timberwolves. The Wild are playing tonight, man. I'm just scared about that game because it just doesn't look good for them. They haven't. And also the refs too. I don't want to lose my viewers here. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, where we talk about all kinds of stuff, including hockey, basketball, college basketball, football, baseball, all of that stuff. Sometimes even throw in a little bit of gambling talk, because, you know, we all love that stuff. We dabble in that. So, we don't mind that. Pretty soon I'm going to flip this joint over. Get after it from the other side, but I want to hit this. I got some meat in there that y'all can't really see from your end, and I want to go after it with this real fine pointed chisel. It's gonna punch some of that mess out of there. You know, concentrated force of impact on a small tip. It's putting more force on whatever you're trying to remove. So while it looks like it's for small jobs, a lot of times you need it for the bigger jobs because you're using these huge chisels that's not applying as much force to the same amount of area. And I've probably said that 100 times on this live stream. 3 times zoom. All right, hold on. I'm doing good with my viewers, so I don't want to mess that up, but yeah, hold on 1 second, Ruiz. I also have an extra light here, thanks to the psychedelic, my psychedelic friend. All right, so you can kind of see there's like a little ridge in there. That's what I'm going after right now. that already attacked it. I did a lot right there. And I just pulverized this mess right here. So when I go after it with a larger chisel, I have more success. With the zoom in angle, you have a lot more shaking, so I apologize for that. But see how much easier the waste comes out there? You'll see it here. And then if you want to flatten off a side, but you don't want to take too much material off, use the back side of the chisel to do that. A lot of instances where I do that. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, folks. Yeah, I mean, that does happen, dude. You know, my former principal was like a military, was in the Army, was in Vietnam, and then was in the police department for a number of years. And he marveled at the disposition that I have. But I think I got that, man, by just living in tough spots like where I grew up and living in DC. I just learned how to just social situations with people just didn't scare me really in the same way. I mean, I fought against it. That's what I'm always doing, is fighting against it, dude. You know? It's easy to withdraw. Anybody knows that, right? Oh man, I love that. Yeah. Appreciate everybody being here in Dad's Workshop. Love you all. Make sure that you subscribe so that you can come back and get notifications when I'm doing different stuff. We just hang out, no pressure at all. You don't have to want to be a professional woodworker to be here. If you just like watching the wood get chiseled away, that's okay. I like to do that too. I sometimes end up watching my entire videos because I'm calmed by it also. That's why I do it. It's a mindful practice. Heather showed me this Instagram user who, and some of y'all who are in here who don't see me on a regular, who are just passing through, might know. She crochets stuffed animals, and they're amazing. It's amazing artistry involved with what she does. And I know people like me and her, a lot of us, we had trauma, and the only things we can do for a living or with our hands, we have to just be busy. It's just, it makes all the pain stop. It makes all the, the satisfaction of building something that people love and that you love, that's going to last a lifetime. That's a great satisfaction, man. It's worth taking your time and being patient. It's really worth doing right. I mean, think about the guys that sculpt ice, Their sculpture is going to go away. All that's going to be left of it is a picture. But in reality, that's what's left of everything that we do. Everything we do is temporary. It's only for us while we're here, and then for others. So I'm going to do my damnedest to try to build heirloom quality everything. Everything I build. If I have to use my hands and not machines to do it, then so be it, But I want it to be high quality. And even if my materials aren't of the highest quality, I want to build with the highest quality for sure. Yeah. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, folks. We're having a good night here. I'm going to flip this joint over, and I'm really hoping on the other side's not blowout. But before I do that, I'm actually going to saw through this top part and remove this 1/2 inch of material from both these sides, because I want to make sure I know which side is my housing side. And if I don't do that, I might make a mistake with my ADHD and cut the housing on the other side, and I don't want to do that. So let's take this little saw that was this little mini saw. Gandara got me this, I think. So shout out Gandara. I love this little saw. It's perfect for these tight spots. And then I use a little mirror here. Somewhere around here I got it. So I can see how close to that line I'm getting on the other side. I kind of got it angled for the audience right now. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, folks. I'm so happy to have all of you here. How close to that line am I? Ooh, wow, real close. Yeah. You don't want to go over the line, so take it easy when you get down to the bottom there. I just slow my roll with it. I'm using a pull saw, which is what I'm comfortable with. But when I get down, I kind of just let the saw. I don't put any pressure on it, you know. Ooh, wow, a lot further on that side than I thought. Uh-oh. All right, that's probably enough right there. Oh, let me do one more. I'm also sawing the piece of wood at an odd angle here too, so that makes it another variable involved with it. Oh. All right, here we go. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, folks. We are cutting through Mortise right now on Thursday night. Happy Thursday to you. We're going to go ahead and take off this waste right here. I'm going to use my smaller mallet because I don't need that much force here to do this. Once you've got these, this is the same way Viking boat building was done and all of that stuff. Sideways cuts made and hand tools were used. I mean, before power tools, these sideways cuts, really important to making any kind of piece of furniture, housing, boats. So I always like to talk about Viking boat building because they didn't use any hardware, just ropes. So everything was either joinery or rope tight together, you know, and that's kind of the history of that kind of nautical culture. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. Good day, guys. Yeah, click the like button, subscribe. Welcome. Hope everybody is happy. The birds are chirping, the bees are buzzing. I mean, it's a beautiful day, really. See, we just got to keep at it, guys. That's all we got to do. We just persist at this thing. We're gonna do it. We're gonna achieve it. It is true, man. It is true if you believe in yourself and keep at it. You will succeed. I'm doing these from the, I hope I didn't go past the stop cut right there. It feels like it did. How's that look on that side? You guys can see it better than I can. That looks too deep. Oh, that's past the stop line, but not much. Over here, it's not. Let's rotate it a little so y'all can see the line better, or what was of the line. You know, what we had of the line. All right, so you see we have our housing basically. Oh, I need to flip this. All right, here we go, folks. We're on the other side now. I guess I should rotate it so y'all can see this too, but I struggled with that a little bit. We got Mickey Mouse. This Mickey Mouse is not as nice looking, is it? So let's go ahead and start working at this waist here. Now there's no housing cut on this side. It's straight through. So I should have made stop cuts on this. That was stupid. See, you live and learn. Probably got to do 100 of these before you really know what you're doing. I've done a few. And you're remembering that this is going to be holding children. You pay the most attention you can to it, right? Yeah, this vise is awesome, dude. Shout out Chardonnay. Love it. Chardonnay gifted us this vise at Dad's Workshop to perpetuate our educational mission here, which is to well, more than woodwork, we're just trying to educate people on love. You know, it's all about showing love to each other and supporting each other. It's not about being snobby woodworkers, you know. This is just what I do. This is just the medium for it. Wow, that came out nice and easy. I'll take a little off this edge here. That's a little below there. I don't like that. Hope that doesn't drop it down. I'm gonna have to take this line to here. Hopefully if the rest is square here, that little bit of mistake I made there, that extra bit of curve that you have from the Forstner, hopefully that won't make a difference there. You know, I don't like to see mistakes, but they happen, you know. Again, I'm using this very fine chisel here to punch holes in material that's going to be tricky and difficult to get out. That's got several, you know, basically several layers of material that's in the corners and stuff like that. And the square chisel is going to have a hard, you know, wider chisels are going to have a hard time with that material, trying to punch through it. So I wonder if I can squeeze this in here. See, that's kind of nice actually. With this saw inside of this mortise, I probably could take out material. Problem is it doesn't have a rip cut side, and this is rip cutting, right? Yeah, I would have to fit like this really, but then it's really close. It's really close. I'm always looking for easier solutions. So doing this at an angle is tricky. Y'all saw me miss the chisel. Instead, I'm not using the chiseling at an angle. And that's close. Welcome to everyone. This is Dad's Workshop, the most unique channel on YouTube where we do live woodworking and chatting. Try to find another channel where they do that. Free program, folks. Just remember that. Click that like button. Free education on what I know, you know. I can give you what I know. So, hey, if it's free and it's available, why not just click that subscribe button? I'm not going to beg you for anything. All I want you to do is come say hi to us, drop something in the chat, let us know you're here so we can shout you out. We're so happy to have you. We're so happy to know that all of you have chosen to be here when you could be anywhere else in the world. That means something. Now, my only problem with this joint is there's some knottery, there's some knottage in here. Knottery, I'm making up words all today. There's some knots in here that make it difficult to get this even in here. So I'm gonna have to work the inside of this joint more. It looks fine from the outside, as you all can see, but there's some uneven stuff going on, and the grain is odd in there. I just took a piece off there that doesn't look like a piece I want to remove. So let me go check the other side again. We'll flip it over. You got to keep doing this over and over again. Yeah, so I did take a chunk out of that edge right there. I can kind of see it right here. So that is blowout. That is not what you want. And there is some uneven grain in there. I can see it. But it's fine, I think. I'm just going to take the rest of that material from that area out and just even it up. I think it'll be fine. These things they all end up too small, and I have to chisel them out anyway. Let me hit this with that tiny chisel here. I got this one area over here being stubborn. If I had a fiber optic cam or a small cam, I would put it inside there so you could see what I was talking about. Just a piece of wood sticking up and doesn't want to come off. On this side, I can see my whole cut line, so this is taken down far enough, but this isn't. And that chisel does not feel sharp anymore. I wish it was ready as hell, but I think there's quite a bit. I'm gonna put this together. Like, I'm gonna have Heather operate the camera and show you how these posts connect with the beams that we've made over the last several lives. You know, like, this has been a lot of work, and you all deserve to see the whole thing come together. And then when we're finishing, we put the whole thing into plan so that this could be done by anybody, you know, who has the time and the lumber and the skills. Some of these skills you have to practice. Hey. Miss Heather's here. Oh, sorry about that. You all right?
Yeah, we good.
Good. Oh, you know what I need? Yeah, it is great. I just need some water.
I can do that.
Yeah, my cup is over there. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, folks. Hot out here in the workshop today. We're cutting a through mortise right now. I need to make a mini one so I can show you how it fits. That'd be a really good YouTube thing to do. Make a mini through mortise so that you all can see, like, you know, get the concept of the is it not working out? I mean, it's just a little woodworking humor, says Ruiz. I will take it. I will handle it. I will deal with it. I will put that one in my pocket. I definitely have used the knot puns on my shorts for sure. Yeah, yes, sir. Ruiz, friend of the program. Oh, who you got in Golden State and Houston tonight, Ruiz? I think Houston, man. Steph Curry got that thumb, that Frankenstein thumb. I don't know if anybody here watched basketball last night, saw that Frankenstein thumb. His thumb looks like he's got gout of the thumb. I've never seen such a thing in my life. Gout of the thumb. If that was a thing, Steph Curry got it. No offense to one of the greatest, you know. But, yeah. Looking bad. We got Mike is making stuff here. Mike is making stuff. Welcome to the program, Mike. Everybody shout out Mike. Check out his channel. He does stuff there. Trying to get myself up here to 1,000 subscribers, folks. Click that subscribe button. You know, we need to get these 1,000 subscribers, so click that subscribe button. Help the channel out. I appreciate you being here. Click that bell so that when things drop, you see it. I try not to annoy people with my shorts and my videos. They're usually very short. I don't talk a whole lot. I don't yap. You know, you could probably go to sleep with it on. That's why it's ASMR, you know. So check it out. Check out my shorts, my other videos. Check out Mike's stuff. Daniel's got stuff, right? Ruiz, you got a channel, right? With videos on it? Check out their stuff too. Friends of the program. Yeah, definitely. Everybody's on the come up here. Good night here at Dad's Workshop. It's always good night at Dad's Workshop. We've had a lot of fun recently. People sending us gifts. Friends of the program bestowing gifts upon the program. And so we've been blessed here, and we've had a lot of gifts, a lot of love shown to the program recently. I feel very, very special, very, very blessed to be here and have this platform. And so I don't want to waste it. Make sure you click that subscribe button. We're here doing woodwork Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now Thursday is added to that every week at 5:30 until. And until varies as my audience knows. Most of them are good students and show up on time and don't leave until it's over. Sometimes I leave a little early, but not on purpose. It just disconnects me. But you know, here we are doing woodwork in Dad's Workshop. Loving it, every second of it. Every moment to me is a new moment. Every moment is an opportunity to appreciate where I am, and I don't just say that to be stupid, man. It is like life is just a series of collected moments. You have to enjoy these. You know, I'm enjoying right now. Look, hey, click that like button. You know, I'm okay without it, but I sure would love if you did that. You know. Let me take this little. My only concern here is this side of my housing. It just doesn't seem as flat as my other side. So I want to take the back side of a sharper chisel. I need to go over these on the whetstones that Ruiz got me. a couple times. Let me see if I got a chisel up here that's a little sharper. Wow, they got soap all over it because I put soap through the bandsaw. So, oh yeah, that bevel on that side's good. And as you can see here, I'm using the back side of the chisel because it removes less material. If you have a bevel, it's going to dig down if you use the top of the main side of the chisel here. And I don't want to dig down. I just want to take just a hair off here. So I don't want to use that beveled side. I'm using the back side of the chisel to do that. And then, you know, I can always take more off. I can never put it back on. So as you all know, you know, that's one of the key dimensions of woodwork. That's tough. You can always subtract, but you can't add typically. You know, and that 1/2 inch is met, and I don't want to take any more off of that right now. I don't think. Thank you. Water break. How you doing?
Good. We're telling everyone to put their links in the Discord.
Oh yeah.
Subscribe to each other.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, put your links in the Discord for sure. We're a community here. We're a family, so we support each other. Let's flip it over since I got y'all and I got a captive audience tonight. We'll flip it over, put it on the other side, do the same thing. I'll put Paco on camera.
Yeah, you want to go?
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh wait, no, stay there.
It's in Zoom, right?
Yeah. I'll hand them to you.
This is the 2x6 side because the bottom runner, the bottom tie beam is a 2x6, laminated 2x6s. I am not happy with that yet, though. Let me do this. Move it a little bit if you could, because it's just too far away from the fulcrum. It's not going to hold real well. All right. There we go, kind of. There we go. All right, we're back. I cannot tell if I've taken the saw to these. I'm going to move this chisel back because this chisel needs the sole sharpened or flattened. I'm using a mirror to make sure I don't cut past my stop line on the layout face here. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, you beat me today, so I can't complain at all. Like, Mike said he's got most time awards, like, most on time. But, like, he beats me, so I sometimes don't know who's first, if that helps. I don't love the way that felt. It feels like the saw is bending right there. I'm a little off that line. That's alright. To be inside of it is okay. You don't want to be outside of it though. So I'm going to have to take a chisel and come straight down that side because you can see I missed the cut line slightly there. It's all right, man. Every channel is different. You know, we don't, none of us here are running clones. We're not on a, this isn't the Dad's Workshop network. So people, I don't think they expect the same thing. So just, yeah, you know, it's okay to have different, we do different stuff. We all do different stuff. There's a lot better woodworkers than me online too, but some of them are just really obtuse and it's not nerdy or, you know, something that doesn't, they have millions of subscribers, but it took them 15 years to do that, making perfect videos with perfect production and all of that stuff. So, you know, I'm not too worried about where we're at here at Dad's Workshop. I think we do a great job. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to take these layout marks. Now this one is a little sloppy. We're going to lay these marks out to the other side, just like I did on the other piece if you were here for that. Yeah, he does have nice tools. Hold on, I don't know what direction I'm going here. Hold on 1 second here. I need to readjust this vise. Just readjusting my vise, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me for a moment. We need to get these layout marks here on the other side. So taking a carpenter square or any kind of straight edge you have that has a reference face to it, right? You need a reference edge. Were you in Bosnia? Mike, hold on. I'm trying to figure out your age. What would you be doing against Slavs in tracksuits? Yeah, we got a bunch of vets on here, man. So I guess Mike is also, and Ruiz is. I'm not. Not the type of steel valor. All right, now we need to take our marking gauge and mark 3/4 of an inch from each side of the layout face. And we're gonna do that. I already have it set to 3/4 of an inch here. Uh-oh, I lost my light. That light has like, I think like an hour battery life. And then you gotta be on batteries. I feel like it's so dark here. I got a million lights on though. It's crazy for me to feel like that. Do you feel like maybe the lighting was the reason I had a good day today? All right, I'm gonna take a quick water break. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back and I'll start drilling these things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I still have a few of you left. Those green marks, I have no idea what those are. They were on there at the lumber yard. Must have been some kind of marking that happened at the facility that these were processed at. Like those words that I used. Here we go. We're gonna zoom this in. Well, I hope your boy's good there, man. I hope he has a good experience and comes back safe to you. That's the most important thing, right? Are you ready? Can y'all see this? Is this? This has to be extremely tight here. I think that's good. Usually I go about halfway through. What a great day, man, here at Dad's Workshop. What's going on? Turn me down? Oh, so it died. Yeah. Thanks, Chardonnay. Yeah, I like these too. It's been a good like lighting day. I've got all this new lighting and stuff, so I hooked up another light too, so I think that might also be another factor. I wanted to see how that would make a difference. Were those off too?
No, I'm just making sorry.
Who's that? Oh, okay. I didn't do was trying to figure out where that sound came. All right, so I have a knot right here too. Wish y'all could see that. I don't want to angle the vise again though, because I don't want it to slip out on me. But I do have a knot here. It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that smaller bit. I'm gonna go through that knot right now. Maybe I should turn it. This is this is value right here.
I can get up.
So I'm just gonna angle it just slightly that way here. Shout out again to Chardonnay for this awesome vise. This makes it really, really educational to do these things. Love the lighting. We're gonna go through this knot. Y'all see this knot right here? I'm gonna attempt to. I don't know how successful it'll be with this bit. Is about the right size as the knot. So we're gonna go through that. Try to take that. It's gonna see how the grain direction moves here. It's gonna want to blow out this side. It's gonna want to blow out here. Anywhere around. This whole thing is gonna be a bear because of this knot. Doesn't even matter once I take it out. It'll make it a little bit easier. Here we go. All right, so I wanted to attack that knot first. Preventative stop cuts here. Probably use this Mortise chisel here. Right around this. You kind of have to work with the wood that you got. If there's a knot there, you need to be very careful around it. I'm basically going to chisel all the way around this. Stop everything I'm doing to do this because you do not want problems with these knots. They can ruin a piece. Alright, so I got that side. I'll go ahead and, since I got the chisel in my hand, do these ones down here too. I'm gonna switch mallets. There's mallet on the Appalachian Woodworks. Shout out Appalachian Woodworks, wherever you are. If you're in the live, that would be awesome if you are. I don't expect that you are. But shout out to them. They got the coolest mallet on YouTube. They do timber framing. Shout out Appalachian. I need to know exactly what the channel's called. I was all over their stuff today making comments. Love their stuff. Shout out Appalachian Woodworks. Doing big things out there. I'm a subscriber to their channel, big time. Love what they're doing over there. His name is Angel. I forget what her name is. She narrates all their shorts and stuff. See, that's even a little blowout right there that I got just from doing the stop cut. I can see it. Wants to come off right here. See? This is why wood gets wonky, man, when you have knots. And all wood has some, but they can be really annoying. Alright, now we will continue. We're going to go ahead and continue what we were doing. Probably gave that bit a bit of time to cool off. I'm putting a lot of pressure down. You probably don't have to put that much pressure down with a plug-in drill, but you want to make sure your wrist is secure because it will throw your wrist and break it. I have had bad injuries from that to where I lost feeling in my index finger and thumb for a year. So be ever so careful, man. When you have some torque on these things, they can be kind of dangerous. Now I want to go all the way through here. That's my next step. Yeah, I got 3 sons. Two of them I think the military would be good for. One of them I don't think it would work too well. Let's flip this thing to go the rest of the way through. I'm going to try to flip it without having to move the camera here. Let's go ahead and just make preliminary stop cuts if they're not in here. Looks like there may be. No, can't tell. That line looks like there is some. If you find value in these videos, click that like button, click that subscribe, and come back and see us. There is a lot of value here. You know, I am not a master carpenter or a master cabinet maker, but I have a lot of amateur and armchair experience doing this stuff. And I was taught by people who know what they were doing. So there is something to learn here from me. I can learn things from you. You can learn from me. And we can build a community here. So please subscribe, click the like button, and make a comment so we can give you a shout out. We had one brave enough, one intrepid watcher today. I wish I remembered their name. I want to say it was Rodriguez, maybe was his last name. Said he came from the UK. So yeah, make a comment so we can shout you out here. These are my regulars. They just chat. That's what we do. We chat here. Felipe, that's his name. Thanks, Chardonnay. Chardonnay, friend of the program, keeping me in line. Felipe, and I think it was Rodriguez was his last name. Shout out to Felipe. Made a comment here. Appreciate him being here for the first time. Chardonnay was right about splinters, though. My pinky's hurting from that thing. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to drill down through here. Then I'm going to go ahead and go through the sides here and cut this, you know, the housing that I talked about. You want to make sure you know your housing side. So, again, with the Forstner bit here, there's already Forstner bit cut through the other side. This bit is still hot. Through. This is just a technique to remove waste. You can chisel it all out, but that's going to be really labor intensive. And that's why I made those stop cuts on the other side, because when you go through, it's going to want to bite on wood and blow stuff out. You all can see what kind of chippage I have here. It's like pencil shavings. You want to know what you can do with these, and you're a survivalist, you take these and you mix them with any kind of wax that you have on hand, even crayon wax. Put them in a cat food container, and they act as a survival heat source and a survival cooking source. They will actually cook small dishes because the flames will keep burning with the wood and the wax in them. So as a fire starter or a survival tool, these little shavings that come from this are really good for that. That's through, and then we got one more to do here before I basically just chisel out the rest of the way, you know. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, folks. Please stick around. Shout out. Let me shout you out. Put your name down. Put something down in the chat. Let us know you're here. We stop everything we're doing to say hi to new folks. Not to embarrass you, just to say hi. I'm going to try to take the small bit and go through this corner here just a little bit. Yeah, the smell is really nice, man. It smells like Christmas trees. Yeah, this is tricky. Can't take too much off here. I gotta be careful. This is tricky. Me being lazy a little bit. Alright, that's good enough. Because really everything else should come out easy here. Let's put our drill aside. And the super hot, flaming hot bits that are rubbed up against the wood almost at combustion temperature. Take this mortise chisel here and let's maybe even zoom in a little bit more and go ahead and knock this last mortise out here. Love what y'all are talking about food now, man. Don't make me hungry. We're squaring these off now. We used a rounded bit, so now we got to go get all these rounded edges out of there. They'll get in the way of the tenon that's going to go through here. I'm going to take this sharp chisel and go in these corners a little bit here. Y'all saw that took off, you know, in the air there. Kind of tells you, you know, these sharp chisels really do apply a lot of force. And once we get this out, we just saw through that, like what we did before. We make saw cuts, lateral cuts through this housing area here, and then we can get through it easier. Good day at Dad's Workshop today. Made a short today about cutting soap with the bandsaw, which is fun, especially if you're an ASMR person. Let me put the mic back over here. Ruiz got me these sharpening stones, wet stones. So now I'm not using sandpaper anymore. I'm going to spend some time sharpening all these tools the right way. And obviously you all know all my mistakes because everything gets published on here. Even when I F stuff up, it still gets published. So everybody gets to see the real process and not the whitewashed what I want you to see process, right? You get to see what I really make mistakes on. Sometimes that's the best way to learn from people's mistakes. What's Calvin doing wrong, you know? What's Dad doing wrong in the workshop, and how can I do that better, you know? And Dad has to think about that too, because if I don't, then I'll continue to make mediocre product, you know? I want to make high level. I want my work to be high level. You know, I have to improve, constantly improve, so. Got a couple little stubborn spots, like you can see how sharp this chisel is because it just took out this chunk of wood straight through the side grain, you know. Flip it again here, and I want to take a wide chisel and just kind of go sideways in here. I always tell people it's almost like a plane when you do this. When you take a chisel, put your palm against it and go diagonal to the grain. Yeah, well, right now, if I do that, that's a good idea, Mike. If I do that, it's going to take away from my ability to show it to the audience. But definitely, yeah, having a piece of wood under what you're chiseling helps. I did all these stop cuts so I could do it without a brace block, so I don't get blowout. Yeah, well, the whole workbench is bouncing, man. I'm applying a tremendous amount of pressure to this chisel. Yeah. Now I gotta get, it is a sturdy vise, man. So Mike, it's zoomed in really close right now, so all of the vibrations are amplified. I'll do my best to try to improve that. I can try to put a block under it, but the way that it's, you know, this vise it's in right now, you've seen this. This vise is really my best option right now for visual, being able to visually show a mortise to the audience. I can't really do that with any other vise, so thanks to Chardonnay for this. Yes, it is moving a lot. Sorry about that. I'll tell you, man, as far as bench vices go, I know we have woodworking vices and stuff, and this is more like a metalworking one, but I have not had a vise that's seemed more sturdy than this one in my life. This whole workbench needs one more board wide and needs to be braced. And I think maybe the tripod for the camera is leaning against the table, possibly. Let me back it up a little, since we're getting to the end here. This side has a little bit more material to remove in that knot area, kind of close to where I am now. I'm in that knot right now, actually. Man, but the wood in general on this side, this board, or this side of the board is much easier. That top side, you can hear it, how easily that waste comes away. Shout out to all my regulars. Mike is making stuff, keeping the convo going. Ruiz and Gandara and Chardonnay. Felipe is new to the program. Shout out Felipe. And of course, shout out to Miss Heather, who is the producer and makes everything happen here. This is just brute force right here, man. Vises, it's holding up, dude. Imagine it's not even near the fulcrum, see? I mean, it's gonna shake, but look how sturdy that is, dude. It's sturdy, man. It's taking a lot. Like when I apply this point to it and then hit it with this mallet, it has a tremendous amount of pressure being put down on it, you know? So I'm really happy with this vise. It gets a good review for me. I would classify this workpiece as secure if I was gonna, you know, if I was gonna classify anything. To me, I wouldn't even be chiseling into it if I didn't feel like it was secure. Again, with the small chisel here. You're just doing surgery on the wood. That's all this is, man. Taking out the stuff you don't need and leaving in the stuff you do. Just a word to the wise, if you are doing a project like this and carving out mortises, that you get the edges in the bottom of the mortise square. It is really hard, but you have to work at it. Otherwise, the board that goes through it will not sit flat and square in there, and it has to. So really important that you take the time to get the mortise carved out square. Everybody check out Mike streams too. I think that's what they're talking about right now. Tune in. I'm going to be tuning in next time. He goes live. That's how we support each other here. He better have a good vise or I'm going to complain on his live stream too. Good so far here. Not a fake woodworking channel, folks, a real one. I don't have any, I have help, but it's Miss Heather helping me run the program. Everything I'm doing here is doing by my own two hands, you know. And you know I use the help of machines whenever possible. Tech versus tradition. I draw the line at like that's an excellent question. Mike said, yeah, I like CNCs. Oh man, what a great question, Mike. Awesome question, awesome topic. He said, so tech versus tradition. Where do you draw the line in your shop? Good point, man. I'm not going to get a CNC router to cut my joints probably, but I'm not going to say I wouldn't if I didn't have the money and the clients, right? So my cousin runs a CNC shop and he has an Etsy shop and eBay and all that. I think he makes 6 figures. He does very well. He does woodwork. He is an expert woodworker too, but he kind of relies on a CNC for a lot of his stuff. But I would say I don't want to use a router to cut dovetails. I would say I draw the line at cutting advanced joinery with machines seems stupid to me. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's a hands, it is a type of work designed for hands, but it can be done with machines. And it is cool looking, but it kind of takes some of the mystique out of it. You know, you didn't really build it. You kind of just had a computer build it. But I'm not going to say, I've seen some CNC timber frames that are pretty amazing, you know. And I know there's a company in Germany that can cut a timber frame to such a tiny tolerance that it doesn't even need like, they bring it to the site and they don't even need like advanced tools or equipment to even get it up. They can even like lift it and attach everything really easily. This is a timber framing shop that uses a CNC router, very advanced CNC router that's in Germany. Now that being said, probably I just draw the line at I don't know. I think you should do some things by hand. That's really where I am with that. If you can't do it by hand, don't do it with a machine, right? Maybe that, like, because the same concepts and principles you need to know to cut a joint by hand are the same principles you need to know when you cut a joint with a machine. And so I think if you can't cut it by hand, you probably shouldn't be CNC routing it. So that's maybe where I draw the line, if that makes sense. What a great live tonight, man. So happy that I went live on Thursday. Let's flip this over again without moving it too much. I got to cut this housing out here. Thanks everybody for being here at Dad's Workshop tonight. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and drop a comment so we can give you a shout out. Even if you're here for 2 minutes, we don't care. We still like to say hi. Drop a comment and let us give you a shout out here on Dad's Workshop, where we love everybody, include everybody. That's how we roll here. We're the good ones. That's a promise. Where's my little mirror? All right, Ruiz, take care, buddy. Shout out Ruiz, big time friend of the program and donator of many items to Dad's Workshop. Ooh, I already went through the line. Look at that, man. That's a mistake. It's all right. We live and learn. It's tricky to do here, especially with it angled. Y'all see, this is where the housing is going to go. As I said a few minutes ago, this technique of laterally cutting wood to remove it is ancient and has been used since Dark Ages, and the Vikings and the Egyptians used this technique to remove wood. You know, they didn't have power tools, so I love this technique. I recently watched a documentary I posted on my Discord This is a while back though, so the link's probably a ways back there. But this boat making, Icelandic boat making company that still uses these techniques to this day. All right, now we are going to chisel this waste out and reveal this housing, and we have the mortise cut. All it needs to be is cleaned out basically. And so now it's just about removing this waste carefully, making sure, looks like we need, I can't tell if we need stop cuts here. No, it has them. So I have done those. Let's use the mortise chisel here. This might be the best approach. I don't need that much pressure. See? Nice, these will tighten a bit. This is the back side of the chisel here. You see it took up the rest of that easily, man. Key to woodwork: exploiting the weaknesses in the wood when you're working it, and the strength in the wood when it is made into a finished piece. The absolute key fundamental principle of woodworking. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, where we do this kind of thing all the time. Plus we chat, hang out, check out each other's videos. So drop a comment, join the Discord, subscribe, click that bell so that whenever we drop something, you get notification, which is, not super frequently enough to annoy you, but, frequently, because we're always making content here. Always making content. Good content too. This is actually tricky because this is like left-handed chiseling right here. Appreciate everybody sticking around for Dad's Workshop tonight. Wow, that looked like it wanted to go past the line, didn't it? Isn't it, as the British say. Isn't it? Touch and go with this stuff for sure. That was the cut I made a little too deep there, so I don't expect to go past that one. There was a knot in this area here. That's probably why it's so stubborn. Wow, great night on Dad's Workshop tonight. They're not gonna let me off the air here. What's tomorrow's lot? One of a kind batch productions. Yeah, we're gonna check that out, man, for sure. Probably need to put a rasp on my Amazon wish list. I don't have a real good rasper. It's easy to go through a piece of wood. The difficulty is when you go through a piece of wood but have to maintain the structural integrity of the wood, decide how much of the wood you have to leave, and then go through the wood with another piece, another structural member. That's what's the difficulty. Not cutting a hole in the wood, right? Cutting a hole that can support another board and a lot of weight, right? So we leave 3/4 of an inch on each side. That's basically, we have a 2x4 of support on either side of the mortise, on either side of the tenon, I should say. What a great night. Welcome, everybody. Oh, Mike, didn't see you go. Sorry about that. Shout out, Mike. He said there may be beverages on his live stream tomorrow. Everybody show up for that, too. You know, we're part of the family here. Everybody's part of the family. Mike is our family here, too. So we want to support that. Yeah, dude. Definitely. You know, when you're, probably don't know this, but when you're sitting in a slot machine and it starts to hit bonuses, like, you know, the slot just like throwing money at you. You know, this happens occasionally if you're lucky, or if you go to a casino for the first time. This happens because they want to lock you in for some reason. The universe tests you, and so, you know, you go to one and you've never been to one, you're probably going to win. And when that thing is rolling, you can't stop when it's giving you a bunch of money. Like, that's the time you got to let it ride, man. Right now, we're letting this channel ride because we're doing really well. So subscribe to Dad's Workshop, join this community, this growing community. Come show up to the lives and get shout out and get to be feeling part of this community, so that we can build and do things, literally build, figuratively build, do all kinds of awesome things, like build stuff. This is pretty good. I'm thinking maybe I might have to trim some here in the inside. There's some jagged stuff too. If the edges aren't even, this is not going to do it, but it'll keep me from getting splinters when I stick my fingers in this mortise. Also, the jagged edges on the edge that might catch onto the wood on the way in. You want to kind of sand these down a little bit. Something I learned from Timber Framer. You take these edges and sand them down so the wood on the way in doesn't catch as much material. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Thursday night is going to be my favorite night forever. You know, I told y'all Thursday is my favorite day of the week. This is why. Well, actually, these tools are my great-grandfather's. So this tool he made right here. This is one of my great-grandfather's block planes. And many of these were made by him, or they are super antique. This one I sharpened the blade on. So there's tools here that are passed down. This scribe tool right here, this marking gauge, this was my great-grandfather's also. He made this by hand. So I repaired it recently because there were some cracks in it, but it still works. And the thumb screw is still effective. The only thing is this little blade here on the marking gauge needs to be repaired. So yeah, I've got a lot of tools from my ancestors here. I'm trying to think, I've got other ones too. All these planes you see on the shelf are my great-grandfather's, down to the littlest one. Can't see them in that shot there, but yeah. I need to do this with all of these. It's going to help when the piece goes in. It's just not going to catch as much, and that's just like really an advantage. I'm going to do the other side as well. Click that like button. Let's get me up to 25 likes tonight. 25 likes. That's where I want. I'll quit at 25. I'll stop bothering people. Click that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're here for you. We're not going to ignore you either. We're not that type. I see something here that could be a problem, and that is this right here. That little bit of material right there. might find that I have to go over that spot again. Let's blow it out. Now I've accounted for these housings by adding a 1/2 inch to the beam on each side and accounting for this with the length of the beam and the length of the pin that's going to go through the through mortise. Now I want these edges sharp so that they hold, because this is going to support some of the weight. All of this distance here, this actually helps support. Now if there's no housing here on either side, you got a lot more stress going into this, racking stress going into this both ways. But just this lip right here is going to add a whole bunch of support to this piece. So that's key. Some value to the episode here. I want to provide you with that, is that the housing bit, if you're building something from scratch without plans, consider putting housing in there in addition to whatever joinery you're using. And braces, you know, you got to have braces. You should add housing. All of those things really important. My dad was a little hesitant to give those tools to me. My mother had to convince him, knowing that I use these sorts of tools. And I actually sharpened. I have one blade I cannot separate from the frog for one plane. But other than that, you know, I guess they want me to be on live all night. Other than that, I was able to sharpen all of those chisels that were, most of which were 100 years old or older, you know. Welcome to everyone from all over the world. We love you here. If you're not from the US, that's fine. We don't even care. Put something in the chat in another language. You know, if you just understand basic English and stuff, you can drop something in a different language. We'll translate it. We love all of that. Welcome to everybody. Where's Max at? Oh, Massimo Max, welcome, 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 man. See, be brave. Be brave. We want to say hi to you. Welcome to the program. New friend of the program, Massimo Max. Make sure you join the channel, subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications, like this video, and also join our Discord. If you're a person of means and want to make a donation, there are plenty of avenues for you to do that as well. I'm not at that subscription level yet to ask for super chats and things like that, but we have other means by which you can contribute. We have an Amazon wish list, we have a GoFundMe and things like that. So if you're interested in helping out the program and you want to do some good works in the world, you can definitely do them here. We do not make $1 right now, so do not worry about us profiting off of stuff. We are not profiting off of anything, not at this stage. So all we're doing is providing free educational content to anyone on planet Earth who has access to internet and YouTube. So that's what we're doing right now. And anyone, and no race, no creed, no national origin, none of that makes a difference. We don't care who you like, what you like, you know, any of that. None of that matters. What matters is that you're here, and if you're here, you're family to us, because you chose to be here over every other place in the world, and that we appreciate. All right, so we got 2 of these beams. I probably need to do the same thing with the other one. That mortise on the top there looks a little off center, I'm not gonna lie. my phone and my camera are eventually going to die here, so I will have to get off. Unfortunately, I'd like to ride this out to the bitter end here, but yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Shout out Chardonnay for sticking it out with us. True friend of the program here, former student, friend of the program. I'm concerned. I'm looking over at that other mortise and it looks slightly off center, so I might have to work on that one in a way that I didn't really expect. But we'll see. Generally, you know, if something's on center on the same dimensional board and it's a straight member, it's going to have to be on center on the other side too. So can't have one thing on center and one not. Something must have, leaning it over or something, must have caused my eyes to deceive me somehow. So we have two posts here. This is the other post. The one you just saw was, you know, we got like north, south, east, and west, I guess, or northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest posts. We have two of those here. I'm going to be laminating the other two for next week. All the live streams, I'll be working on those. And then I've already cut the mortises. So the next thing to do would be clamp them up and check the mortises against these tenons. You know, make sure they sit in properly, that they're plumb and square where they come together. And then, you know, this is the way you build things from scratch. You know, I basically have a plan. My first bunk bed, if you check out my other lives, I was built with no plans, with just rough dimensions and then knowledge of timber framing joinery. With whatever knowledge of timber framing joinery I had. I decided I wanted braces. Through mortises would be the best idea for stability, and so I went with that. Welcome to everybody. Click that like button and subscribe. We ran a little over because we're doing pretty well tonight, so, you know, help us out, help the channel out. Learn something or not, or teach me something. Sometimes people come here with more knowledge than me, and that's fine. That's why it's Dad's Workshop, not Expert Workshop. We're okay with that. This joint right here, and that spot. I'm going to take this tiny chisel and go into these corners. Make sure that material is out of those corners, man, because it's got to be square down there. You got to be careful with these things. They'll take a lot of material out. You get way more than you bargain for sometimes with these tiny chisels. Yeah, I appreciate having two female brains around here too. That, if I may jump into this convo, having you both here is very helpful. And you guys know how ADHD I am, and I need both of you. So there we have it. Oh, we're winding down. I almost like that. Welcome to Dad's Workshop, where we're winding it down finally. My views went down to a kind of normal level. I hate to cut it off with the number of people that I have. I got a square chisel. It's better for these corners. Square file, probably better for these corners. Never mind, maybe I don't. No, don't know where that is right now. Have to find it later. You two are probably the only female viewers I have. Well, there's one that I have a regular female viewer. She doesn't identify herself, but she is. Shout out to her. She knows who she is. And she's on here. She hangs out, but she's quiet. But that, you guys, you know, there's not a lot. That's for sure. This is definitely a male establishment. Not that I designed it that way. It's okay, but this is for everybody. One of my first loyal viewers, Juanita, wherever she is, shout out Juanita. She enjoyed it. She was a girl. You know? Well, that's much better. I can put my hand in there without worrying too much. You flip it, kind of look at the other side, and then we'll wrap it up for the day. Gone are the days. Oh wow, big piece of blowout. I think I saved this though somewhere. I remember doing this, and I saved this piece. Not that I need it, but it would look a lot better if we don't have this blowout back here. Don't love that. You all can see a big chunk came out of here. Don't know when that happened. I kind of recall this happening on the live, and then I took the wood and put it aside because it could be reinserted in there. I think this is it right here. Let's just be it right here. That sure looks like it. Pencil line marks up of all the wood chips on the floor. I was able to identify it. Shows my eye for wood right there. That's the piece that goes in that spot. So we'll just keep that, and that'll get glued back in once we got this joint all where it needs to be. Actually, probably needs to be glued in now, to be honest. But let me put this over here and go after this corner here with this chisel, because it doesn't look like I'm meeting the line. It's not square. There's a whole raised area there. We always aim for perfection, and you know, if you end up with mediocrity, generally you're okay with it. The vise is not tight. Shout out to the third. Yeah, I don't know who that is. I mean, I just see, so I get this, not to sound weird about it, I get this weekly roundup and it shows the faces of my regular users, right? And so there is a face I keep seeing on there, which is obviously a female and not an old female, a younger female viewer. This is a person who subscribed. They have not unsubscribed. They've been subscribed for a long time. And not in my typical demo. My demo is older and male, and this person is younger and female. So that's why I say it. That's why it's mentionable. So yeah, shout out to her. I can't even recall the name at the moment. If she would say something in the chat, we would be able to do that. But she's not usually in the chat. Also, J&J is an older lady. She's in here sometimes. I didn't know her demo. Heather pointed out the demo to me. So yeah. Shout out J&J, friend of the program. Yeah, there's a whole raised ridge in there that has to come down, and there's a knot in here. That's probably why I got that blowout. Yeah, YouTube gives me a roundup and they show me this like hodgepodge of things every week. Not that it always has value, because it doesn't, but I always watch it because I feel like YouTube like wants to know if you're watching it, right? So I go back and I look at it and I'm like, sometimes I'm caught off guard because they show random users that have subscribed or watched during the week. And they show sometimes the same ones, but I've never heard from these people ever. Don't know them personally, you know? But shout out to all those people, because you are my family if you show up here. You don't need to say anything. That's okay. And some people want to say something, but they don't speak English, you know? So that's all right, too. Yeah, this is really... I'm not loving this. Let's do this. Let's glue this up before we go. Here's my glue bottle. Now, if put in here correctly, this piece of wood should be stronger with this glue on than it was when it was just sitting in there. But I'm going to have to attack it with a chisel, so it's going to have to be in there real good. It's going to have to be able to take like chisel work. It's very sharp. This is a piece that would stick you real bad. Let's get a clamp on there. Let's get a shim on there. I'll do that. Tricky how to clamp it here. There we go. I'm feeling like there's not enough glue in there, but we're gonna have to try it out. If it doesn't stay in there tomorrow, I'll put more in, but I don't want to load this up with glue here either, because I am gonna have to chisel through a good amount of that piece anyway. It just is a huge chunk that came out. And I don't love that. I want to put glue up under here. I'm gonna put some glue under there. Well, we have had interesting countries here, like a guy from Latvia who lives in Ireland. Um, we've had people from the UK. You know, you've been in here when people have been in here from the Middle East and Southeast Asia. Uh, a lot of woodworking in Russia, so there's some Japanese people in and out. They probably think I do a lot of sloppy stuff because they're very picky about their woodwork there. Um, you know, not picky beyond, you know, I actually respect the shit out of it because they're so picky. Oh, caught that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dad's Workshop, and I'm so happy to have all of you here today. Lost a couple likes there, looks like. And so I'm probably going to wrap it up for the night. Appreciate everybody being here. Click the like button and get back my 3 likes that people took away from me by jumping in and trolling. Give me my 3 likes back, and I'll love all y'all forever. We can be best friends. But somebody just jumped in here twice on 2 different accounts and just liked this thing. So let's get my likes back, and let's come back on next Monday when I'll be back here. I love you all. I appreciate you all being here, and do something nice for somebody. Give someone a hug. Subscribe, comment, check out my other videos, join the Discord if you're a person of means, make a donation. I love you all, appreciate you all, and I will see you next Monday.